In this episode, I will be designing the Duna return lander that will be landing on Duna and returning some science samples. Welcome, first of all, to my career playthrough. I'm your host, GrunfWorks, and yes, for those of you that might be asking, it has been a long while since we actually managed to first get and sorted everything. So yeah, we're building the tiny return lander. And this one is supposed to be landing on Duna, collect some science, and return back. You might be wondering, GrunfWorks, but didn't you recently post on the channel, the Duna sample return mission? Yeah, I did. The thing is that this video was recorded long before the Duna sample return mission, and this is what video actually inspired the Duna sample return mission. However, this video is part of my career playthrough, and I have been playing that using a boatload of modes, including Kerbalism and all that for extra, difficulty. However, the other one was a part of a more, vanilla KSP series, just with the graphical mods, so you understand the difference. However, in this episode we will be just building and testing this, and the actual launch is scheduled for much later on because I am also using Kerbal construction time. That takes a while for everything to construct and go, and here I'm actually experimenting with different antennas and what I'm gonna use to be able to, get to the surface of Duna, perform the experiments, maybe even have, the parachutes and everything. So I'm experimenting with different setups until I figure out how I want to approach this. Right, so that being said, okay, let's just see Duna and atmospheric. I need to understand how much delta V I will have in this Duna return lander. This is 3,500 delta V. That's enough. Alright, that's enough to get us ascended from Duna and do pretty much everything else. Okay, let's put in the landing legs. This will make the lander pretty stable. We have plenty of batteries. My main gripe with the batteries is I always put too little batteries, and then the more complex experiments don't get returned because, well, there is no enough data capacity and stuff. So yeah, and also electricity. So yeah, that's my problem. Okay, fixing the parachute so that we have deployment altitude and all that jazz. We want to make sure that we can actually land on Duna, so that's one thing that we really need to take care about. Alright. By the way, I'm actually running the two series more or less in parallel. The second series, which I've been doing with a more stock vanilla, it was designed as a, let's say, semi-tutorial. This one is more of a let's play with, the actual missions and everything, and it took me there have been a long while since I posted an episode on this, so and that's mainly because last video I recorded during the summer sometime, and that was mainly then I had to go for vacation, so I wasn't at my computer, etc. I was just posting everything else from my laptop. But anyway, since I've been back, I've been busy with other stuff, and now I am finally getting back into this save. So yeah, there will be a lot more missions, and I know that we have been recently touting both, the starship and everything else. So here I am just trying to make, the antennas, the solar panels, and making sure that this tiny lander has everything it needs to have for it to be able to correctly work. So yeah, just a lot of experiment placement and all that jazz, just to make sure that we have everything correctly placed. Right, so first this is like this Mars probe lander, and as you can see I'm mostly designing the remote parts because, well, in Kerbalism there is a quite high associated cost with getting Kerbals. You have to maintain their mental health and everything, so I will eventually get a manned ship or Kerbal ship to Duna, but it's gonna take a lot more requirements than it does with probes, as it does in real life. I mean, we still haven't conquered Mars, so yeah, and there are a lot of things that one needs to take into account, both in terms of radiation shielding, the food supplies, the, a lot of things. There's the psychological factors. There's a whole lot of things that one needs to take into account when designing a vehicle that should be able to take people or Kerbals to Mars or Duna. Right. So that being said, I believe that this lander is now finally ready for the actual, you know, entry, re-entry and whatnot. So I think I'm pretty happy the way that one looks. So it's time to design the transfer / ascent vehicle, call it whatever you want. I call it Bob because I just like the name of it. Anyway, so right. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna be just making sure that I have placed this small, antenna. I need the antenna, long-range antenna for that matter, because I have a feeling I'm gonna need it. Communitron. Okay, can I fold it back? I really want to place it somewhere here, and I just fold it in. There we go, beautiful. See, that works. Oh, I love the robotics parts. Takes me back. Right. So extend, retract, good. It won't be touching anything else, and that's kind of important. All right. 1 will be the solar panels, 2 will be the hinge, and 3 will be the antenna. Right. Okay, so time to design the transfer vehicle. So this is actually just, note, this is a return lander. So right now I'm just designing the transfer vehicle, and that one is supposed to have the docking port. It has to be junior because the other one is junior, so we want to make sure that we have the junior docking port. Then we need to oh, I forgot the mystery goo. Apparently I should add it. Right, the experiments, the probe core, the SAS, good, the tank, I mean the battery, sure. Should put a big ass solar collector. All right. Let's see, another battery perhaps. What can I put? These are the small batteries. I would really like to put on a bigger one, but yeah, sample capacity. We have to make sure that we have plenty of sample capacity. Then we need the solar panels. Okay. Monoprop tanks, because once we're designing monoprop tanks we need to be able to dock with this damn thing in the orbit. So I put, usually, technically you don't need both, you need just one. Let's see if we can do it with the Nerva. I mean, I do like Nervas, but I don't know. Nerva, there we go. There we go, shroud enabled, good. Yeah. That being said, maybe it's better that I just go with a regular tank. I mean, I don't feel like Nerva would actually justify it. Nerva is really good and efficient for the light probes. For the heavier probes, I think it's maybe even better. Okay, I should be putting the... Right, I almost forgot the parachute, because this damn thing will also be returning back, because the Duna lander is just supposed to dock in the orbit of Duna, and that's it. Transfer all its experiments and shit here to the main craft, which will be then returning back to the Kerbin orbit. Alright, just fixing up some final parameters for the deployment. There we go. Making sure that the parachutes and stuff are working correctly. Alright, there we go. Beautiful, then we put another heat shield for a re-entry. And this heat shield is for the re-entry to Kerbin. The other one was for the re-entry to Duna. Or not the re-entry, but the entry to Duna, so yeah. Right, good, big fuel tank. Alright, let's see. Okay, big SAS, that's good. Then I'm looking for a good engine. Bobcat, perhaps? Maybe? I don't know. Let me see. What do I have? I need an efficient engine that would be able to, you know, Erebus. Harrier, Erebus, liquid hydrogen engine. Okay, let's see. We take this. Hold on. We take this fuel tank. Erebus. Can we put the LH2 oxidizer? Okay, good. Fine. Okay, we have another antenna. Nice. Then we need photovoltaic panels. And those are too big. Can I put smaller ones? Yeah, I can put smaller ones. Ah, those work. Okay. Fair enough. That will work nicely. Right. So the engine is correctly put, everything is staged, good, and now we need to enclose all these into fairing. I need to reroute. This would be the new route part. Yeah, okay. I'm just looking, try to understand its delta V. 1330 meters per second. Oh. Maybe I'll need another fuel tank. Something like that. Why 707? Ah, I forgot. Yeah, okay. Now, vacuum, once you remove the vacuum, it's like 2.52. That's good. I mean, now it's almost 2000 delta V. That should be plenty to get us into the orbit of Duna. Right. It's a big pushing stage, so yeah, what can I tell you? Alright. So, with that thing being said, we need to just make sure that our staging is correct. There we go. Beautiful. And time to design the ascent vehicle. So, yeah. Now this will be a big ass fairing. Come on. Cross, 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 and shut it. There we go. Beautiful. Sides 2, clamshell deploy on. Good. Let's take it upwards. Cool. Nope, not that one. Nope, not that one either. Where is this? This one. Yes. Good. Found it. Alright, that looks good to me. Now I need the body with a fuel tank. Hold on, where it is. It always takes me a while to find the correct one. Yeah, there we go. There we go. One more. Perfect. Okay, so there we go. Have these engines, which is kind of important. Alright, shroud. Perfect. Now, the ascent vehicle. Auto-strutting everything, making sure that everything is auto-strutted. We don't want noodles. Alright, just inspecting my delta V. Looks okay for the time being, but all in all, okay. Now we need to put a couple of boosters. Oh, this is new. Mammoth liquid fuel engine, you can select the plume. That's... I haven't seen this before, guys. Okay, I wish I knew which mod was that, but... Okay. Anyway, I want to see where are my boosters. These? No, those are too huge. I'm looking for some SRBs, maybe? Can I take these? No. Oh, I could take these. Oh, right. Those are good ones. Okay, we put Rockomax jumbo tanks on top of them. Like 3. Okay, that would be good enough. Fine. I think those would work. Okay, so now let's put a nose for the SRBs. Nope, that one. Yeah, that works. Okay, I'll just make sure need to make sure that I'm using separatrons, because those are really asymmetric. So separatrons are pretty much a must. Okay, yeah, here I'm connecting the fuel ducts. Good. And that means I need to make sure separatrons. There we go. 2, 2, 2, 2. I think that's enough. Let's put on the other side. 2, 2. And I'm using radial symmetry, which means that they're all being put, you know, separately. And they all need to fire at the same time, so I don't really need to worry about, you know, correct staging. They just fire whenever the stack separator fires, or when, yeah. Then we have these two, which will fire when the main stack separates. Good. I would say that's it. We will probably now need to just test it, the damn thing. Oh, right, aerodynamics. Yes, I don't want to forget these. Otherwise my rocket can become a flippity flip. Yeah. Alright, let's see. Yeah, center of mass, center of lift. I mean, it's not really necessary for you guys to do that, but I don't know, I feel a whole lot better if my rocket is usually semi-aerodynamically stable, so yeah. Okay, let's toggle the torque. We don't want multiple reaction wheels firing at the same time, we just want the big one to be working. Okay, I'm gonna place 2 here. Good. Right, and I can actually put some more fins. I'm obsessed with fins, what can I tell you? Now it looks good. Alright. Usually it's the engines that can compensate, so it's not really a big deal, but yeah. Autostrut, good. Let's try it. And launch. Look at it go. Looks beautiful. I really love the plume and the waterfall. Okay, so yeah, we have to rotate the rocket and angle it towards the east. Alright. Looks really promising. Alright, I just want to make sure that to test all the systems, and that's kind of the main thing. Once I test that part, then I will know everything is working dandy and no problems. I'm keeping my thrust to weight to be around 1.8, 1.9. I'm trying not to get it too far out. Okay, let's see. Simulation active. There we go. Detach the boosters. They fall off. Beautiful. See? So far, so good. Our apoapsis is already at 90, so at 100 we cut it off. Well, 104. Okay, that works. Right now, let's see. At the apoapsis we will circularize around 100 kilometers, roughly. We always use that for, you know, low transfer orbit, whatever. Okay, 104 by 101, that's good enough. And my staging is freaking out for some reason. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. As soon as we line up, we will ditch the fairing. There we go. Bye-bye fairing. Okay, get off me. Right. So far, so good. The craft is trying to determine how much delta V it has. Fortunately enough, it doesn't have a clue how much it has, but that's okay. Alright. There we go. Detach. Bye-bye, and let's ignite the transfer stage. The transfer stage has 1,400 meters per second. That's good enough, and as you can see, we were able to circularize. It wasn't my proudest moment when it comes to ascent, but okay, let's just see how much delta V we will have once we circularize, let's say 100 by 100, whatever. Okay, so solar panels, good. Antenna, good. Okay, those are working. Okay, fine. Now we need to test the rest of the systems. Yeah, I'm gonna accelerate and burn just to make sure that, yeah, we are in space when we do the rest of the experiments. Look at it, it looks really nice, doesn't it? Alright. So, yeah, 36 meters per second burn. My burn time is still freaking out. Okay. Okay, detaching. That's the next stage. Control, toggle torque. There we go. Okay, that engine is working correctly. So it's tested correct. Let's now test the stage separation and that we can dock. That's the next part of the testing. Okay, good. 180 degrees rotation. Good. Then we detach the this one. And now let's just try quickly get rid of those boosters. Okay, the staging is correct. Control from here. Set as a target and just basically use the maneuvering thrusters that we align ourselves. It's a minor test, but I like to test all of the systems before I actually do this huge journey all the way to Duna just to realize that I have completely forgot something so, banal, and basically I screw up, so. Yeah, okay, there we go. Docked. Okay, so how much delta V we now have? We have 1,746 of delta V, which should be more than enough, I would say, to get us to Duna. Alright, that sounds good to me, and yeah. So I guess the final thing that we could test is just the re-entry. Will this craft be able to survive the re-entry? Okay. Getting ready to test that. Alright, closing the antennas. And we will be pointing the orbit retrograde as soon as we enable the torque on the reaction wheels. Yeah, I remember I have deliberately closed them off. And look at us go. Re-entry looks rather good. Ablator is working its job, so all in all, I think this will be overall a rather successful mission. Yeah, see it go. And we should just check if the parachute will deploy, and we can ditch the heat shield. But all in all, yeah, I'm not overly concerned, so to say. There we go, parachutes. Looks good. Jettisoning the heat shield, and yeah. All in all, I would say smash that like button if you like the episode, and be sure to check out my other series, top right corner.